Let's see Unit 5 of we have three chapters in Unit 5: file management, secondary storage management, and IO management. So, first one, file management. A file is a name collection of information. A file is a name collection of information that is recorded or stored in a secondary storage. That means anything you wanted to store in the secondary storage, that must be stored in a file in the form of file. Okay, so there are two types a file can be represented. First one, program, and second one, data. Program files may be your C++, Java files, Java or Python files. Data may be a character, text files, and binary files. Text files may be character, numeric, and alpha numeric files. So who will create the file? That file will be defined by its creator. Okay, so there are different properties of a file. These properties and attributes you can find it in Windows by right click on the file and select properties. You can see a set of properties here. Properties are attributes here. First one, a file name, file type, and file location, and size on the disk, when it will be created, when it will be modified, and when it will be accessed, that is previous access information, as well as file location and its file protection and where protection properties, that is read only or hidden or write execute properties will be given. And also others, there will be security issues, and all these are stored, all these are maintained by our maintained by operating system. Okay, so name is the only information that will be kept on the human readable form, and each file is associated with some unique value. Okay, so this particular unique value will identify other properties of the file within the system. This is not in the human readable form, this will be in the system understandable form. Okay, so type, each file will have its own type, that is extension. We also call it as extension. The operating system supports multiple types of files. Location means where it is a pointer to a file location on the disk. Where your file is stored on the disk, that will be our location. Okay, so what will be the current size of the disk, that will also be defined, and it will define your reader, writing, and executing. Okay, executing properties. And you will have a time, date, and when it will be, when the file was, this property, when the file was created, modified, and accessed. Okay, so let's see the file types. The file type is split it into two parts. First one, a name. Second one, extension. That means if these are the different files that is supported by operating system. Okay, so these are file names. Okay, a file name, that is suppose uh, os.txt. Okay, which will define the file name is os, and txt will be the extension of the file. This extension defines the type of the file. Okay, and file name and extension is separated by a dot. Okay, so if you are creating a unit file, so it will be unit file dot docx, so which will define the word file. This will define the word file. Okay, so if you are writing a program on this particular thing, so you can write fcfs.c. So c is the type of the file and fcfs is the program name. Okay, right. So these are several examples of file names, and the end will tell you the type of the file. So these are the different types of files that is supported by system. Okay, so mostly we can see mpeg, mov, and rm mp3 files. Then there will be a program source code files, that is c++, java, and object files. Once you compile it, you will get the object files .obj or .o. You will get an executable file while you install a software, that is .exe, .bin, and .com. Bin means binary files. Okay, so most commonly used file is text file and doc files. Okay, what are file operations? They're the creating a file, repositioning within the file, deleting a file, truncating a file, reading a file, and writing a file. These are the operation that is performed on a file. Okay, so creating a file, we use create system call to create a file. Okay, that means a file will be created by using create system call. So for repositioning a file, we use seek system call that is used to take the current pointer to the particular position in a file. That means if there are 10 characters, that means 10 characters. Okay, the current position will be pointing to the next character. Will be pointing to next character. Okay, we can use that by using. We can go to that last position by using seek system call. Then delete and truncating file. Both delete and truncate will delete the contents of a file. Delete the contents of a file, but truncate will delete all the contents in the file, but the file is present in the hard disk. The file will not be deleted. Okay, file and its attributes will not be deleted. That means the size will be 0. The file will be present and size will be 0. But when you use delete, okay, the difference between delete and truncate, delete will erase all the contents in the file, but when it comes to the truncate will delete all the contents in the file, but file will be kept on the disk. When it comes to delete, delete will also erase all the contents of the file, and it also deletes the file from the system. That means even its attributes will also be deleted. Okay, so file is completely deleted from your hard disk. You don't find the file again. Okay, so there is a read and write operation that we can perform by using read system call and write related system calls. Okay, so read is used to read the contents from the file, write is used to store the data onto the file. Okay, so there are two system calls, open and close, that is used to open a file and close a file. Okay, so depends upon the programming language, there will be different functions that will be used to open and close a file. Okay, so there are three file tables that we need to discuss, major file tables. First one, open file table. Okay, so open file table maintains the information about all open files. Okay, it will maintain the information about all open files. When a file is closed, then its entry is removed from open file table, removed from open file table. So it is then per process table. That means for each process, that means a process P1, okay, is open file name f1 and f2. Okay, so these two open files that are related to a process, that means it is clearly a process table. Okay, the process information, how many processes are there. Okay, so each process will maintain a table how many files that has been opened. Okay, so this particular power process table will have a pointer to system wide table. This particular system wide table maintains the information about all the files. Okay, so it maintains the information about all the files. Once a file has been opened by a process, it contains and what information it store. It has which process has opened the file and where the file is present, and when it is accessed, when it is closed, when it is modified, and what is the size of the file. Entire information is presented in the system wide table. See, it is independent of process information, so it maintains all the files. System wide table, it maintains all the files. Okay, so next, open file table is associated with following information. First one, when a file is opened, okay, it will use the seek system call to go to the current position of the file. Okay, so whenever you open a file, either the current position will be starting or ending. Okay, so then file open count. So it will maintain how many processes has opened that particular file. For a file that is f1.txt, this file may be used by process P1 and process P2. P1 and P2. So it will says that two processes are using this particular file. So when a file is opened by two processes, we need to make sure that there will be no synchronization problems. Okay, so we have seen that in unit 3. And there will be a disk location of the file where the particular file is present. We need to locate that particular location of the particular file. Okay, so the information needed to locate the file on the disk is kept in the main memory, so the system does not have to read it from the disk for each operation. Okay, So, and there are access rights. When a file is opened, we need to change the access rights. That means when the file has been modified. Okay, we need to maintain information of when a file is modified, if the file is modified or not, and if there are any contents that we need to store back to secondary storage while executing that particular file program, and use that particular file. Okay, so whenever there is a read operation or write operation is performed, we need to take necessary actions. Okay.